Candidate for the Illinois Statehouse continues her quest on getting information on how kids are being impacted in the state of Illinois, and the latest that she was able to obtain through Freedom of Information Act shows 20,000 children under the age of 18 that are getting Medicaid services without a Social Security number. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. You can subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us here with Illinois in Focus with the Center Square. And again, go to thecentersquare.com to get the latest headlines. The story we're working on here is a state representative who we featured in another story about Children and Family Services department here in Illinois that has a number of children that have not been able to be found, and that number is something that she got before, showing a drastic jump one year to year, but new numbers that the department put out to the Center Square showed that the state has hundreds of children each year, 200 that they don't have track of. The latest numbers that state representative candidate Baily Templeton, she got together from the Department of Human and Healthcare and Family Services, DHFS, Healthcare and Family Services. It shows 20,000 children that are getting Medicaid services, taxpayer resources, that don't have Social Security numbers. I chatted with Templeton on Friday, and she explains what she's looking for.
Right. So I sent in a FOIA to Illinois DCFS recently about children in their care who do not have registered Social Security numbers. And they responded to me that they did not know exactly what I was asking for, and they wanted to set up a conference with me with multiple members of their staff to discuss this. I also, at the same time, presented the same FOIA to the Department of Human and Family Services, HFS, and I asked them the exact same questions. They had no pushback, and they actually informed me of 20,358 undocumented children on Illinois Medicaid. They do not have a Social Security number.
So Templeton showing us this chart that I was able to download directly through the shared folder from the Department of Healthcare and Family Services, and it shows that 20,358 children do not have Social Security numbers that are taking part in Medicaid, and it gives a breakdown of the ages. So you've got 0 to 1, 10,600, and then the rest being 1 to 17 years old. You even have the breakdown in the counties there of which they're coming from. Cook County, obviously a major driver. It's the largest county in the state. But you could see other counties. DuPage County has more than 870. But they do show that some counties are not listed in this because there's 5 or fewer individuals, and that's to protect the identity of those individuals. Templeton says, obviously, if you're a 0 to 1 year old, you may not have a Social Security number yet.
Right. And I've also seen documentation where they've had problems with certain agencies asking or requesting for Social Security numbers for these children. So that also could lay in the 10,000 that are in the age of 0. But anywhere between 1 and 17, I don't think there's any valid reason to not have a Social Security number registered if they're American citizens.
Now, what she's after is how much this is costing the taxpayers. And obviously, as a state house candidate, this is something she says she's going to continue to expose during a campaign. The election's not till March. That's the primary. She does have a primary. She's also got petitions being challenged, so that's got to be sorted out with the Illinois State Board of Elections. Regardless, she says that she's going to continue to look for how much this is costing taxpayers.
Yes, I am. I did an average search to see how much it would cost one child on Medicaid here in Illinois, and an average would be about $11,000 per child. Now, that would be assuming it's your well child visits and your regular visits that you would have, no additional medications. But if you've got a child with more difficult medical conditions, or who needs to be on a lot of medication or in hospitals for a long period of time, with the average of $11,000 per child, we're looking at roughly $224 million in taxpayer burden.
So it's a considerable amount of money she's estimating is going to, for instance, children between the age of 0 and 18 that don't have a Social Security number getting benefits. And again, she says that this is part of her quest for getting more information about not just taxpayer dollars, but how taxpayer dollars are being used and the impacts on children.
Absolutely. So my campaign slogan is going to be full disclosure, full exposure. I am an open book. I will ask any question that someone wants to have asked, and I will answer any question that is asked of me. And I do believe the most important thing we could do here is get an independent third-party audit, and it needs to be done statewide in any agency that deals with children.
And Templeton says that's a major goal of hers in this overall quest. She obviously is part of this Freedom of Information Act request she put in to get these documents showing, the number of children getting health care subsidies at 20,000 plus in the state of Illinois that don't have Social Security numbers. She was also able to get access to some policy papers that, procedure papers. And here it says, to receive benefits, one must have a Social Security number or proof. And again, this is a FOIA request that Templeton got back from the Department of Healthcare and Family Services here in the state of Illinois. And it says, you have to have a Social Security number, but there are exemptions. Persons exempt from having to provide Social Security number listed below. Persons who fail to meet this policy are ineligible. It says, right here, this bullet point, non-citizens under the age of 19 who have certain non-immigrant visas or do not have any immigration documents and are requesting or receiving family health plans. So this is, again, an exemption from having to have a Social Security number. Templeton responded to that.
There needs to be extenuating circumstances for any type of public payment for someone who's not participating in being an American citizen. I don't believe that we should be paying or having the tax burden of every single child that enters our state, especially with the sanctuary laws and the things that our governor has been illegally doing, including warning with DCFS and other state agencies. He warned daycare agencies on how to handle if ICE were to show up looking for these children. That just creates, in my mind, a very gray area of what is happening to these children. Is this about protecting them, or is there something more sinister going on? And without DCFS giving me these answers, I don't know what to think here. I'm going to continue pushing forward, and if DCFS cannot provide me with corresponding paperwork, I think we've got a pretty serious issue here.
And she continues to discuss with DCFS on things that they are able to release. She says, but obviously this is an ongoing election cycle, and we'll see exactly how the ballot plays out, and if she's going to be on it, and if she doesn't make it through the primary, she's going to continue to be a vocal watchdog of these types of issues. And she says that she's continuing forward to get even more information.
Yes, I'm going to try to see if we can get a year-by-year breakdown to see if there's been any rising cost in recent years or any lowering cost, or exactly what's going on there. I can't get like a services breakdown. I can get a broad variety of services, but we can't, because they are children and because it's HIPAA protected. I won't be able to tell exactly what we're looking for here. But I am centering most of my questions about transgender care on children.
And I asked her why that's important to her.
Well, Illinois DCFS has been allowing children to transition, and in order to do that, they have to remove them from their parents. If they have a lot of children without Social Security numbers, I would question, or if anyone has children without Social Security numbers, I would question why they haven't obtained a Social Security number and why they're able to receive any type of Medicaid benefits without one. And that creates, again, a gray area of what is happening. We need full disclosure on what is happening within the system and what is happening within children's rights being violated.
Again, that's State Representative Baily Templeton, candidate, rather, for state representative. Don't want to promote her yet. We haven't had the election. March is the primary. You've got the November general election. But regardless, I think you're probably going to be hearing more from Ms. Templeton about this particular issue and all of the other facets that are involved. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Go to thecentersquare.com. Get headlines in your inbox. And stay tuned each and every weekday morning. Tons more to tackle. Oh, my gosh. I appreciate you guys being here.